Stories.
The Headless Rider. The friend who told me the following tale swears that it is not a story, but an authentic fact. This happened in 1917 in Duval County. My wife and I left our little ranch to go and visit my uncle who lived close to San Diego. We traveled the whole day in our wagon pulled by 2 mules. We even continued after dark for a while, looking for a place to camp for the night. We saw a campfire in the distance. I told my wife, we must be getting close to Dead Man's Lagoon. I am glad we're going to have company for the night. I feel safer this way. But the fire got smaller and smaller as we got closer to the lagoon. By the time we got there, only embers were left. Nobody around. Not even tracks on the ground. I didn't feel good about the situation, especially about the fire diminishing at our approach. But I did not say anything in order to not frighten my wife. We decided to camp right there under a big oak tree. It was too dark by this time to continue anyway. We got what we needed for the night out of the wagon, and I threw some wood upon the coals. As the fire started to burn again, we heard the galloping of a horse in the distance. It was coming faster, faster. We heard branches cracking in front of us. We saw the most frightening sight of our lives. A tall gray horse running at full speed right in front of us. Upon the horse, a headless rider. We saw him as clearly as I see him now. He planted his spurs in the flanks of the animal as he passed in front of us. My wife fainted at that moment. The horse continued towards the lagoon and ran over it, all the way across, as if it were on cement. I could hear the hooves on the other side of the lagoon. The sound stopped suddenly, and at the same time, the fire in front of me went out. As the moon had come out from behind the clouds, I decided we should leave immediately and find another place for the rest of the night. I marked the spot carefully before leaving, hanging rags on the branches of the oak tree. When we arrived at my uncle's ranch, we told him immediately what had frightened us so much that night before. He smiled like he knew exactly what the whole thing was about. "Well," he said, "you were at Dead Man's Lagoon. I've heard lots of rumors about that place. Many years ago, I was told, 4 ranchers got together on the side of the lagoon for a race. Each man was convinced he had the best horse. They bet everything they had, money, ranches, cattle. Mr. Dickinson had a tall gray stallion called Hercules. Well, Hercules won the race with such ease that the other men, furious and humiliated, not only refused to pay their debt, but they even killed Mr. Dickinson with a machete, cutting his head off. Since then, according to what people say, he and Hercules have been running that race over and over again." As soon as my uncle finished that story, he and I went back to the spot I had marked the night before. There was not a track on the ground, not even in the soft mud on the side of the lagoon. Nobody could even tell there had been a fire. No coals, no ashes, nothing. Even the rags I had used to mark the place were gone.